Okay, in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to carry on. We've already been focusing on revenue. We've looked at revenue by year and revenue by state, as you can see here. And we can play around with this and drill down on those various different metrics. We're going to move into a different area now. We are interested in the performance after the customer has made a purchase. Then what happens? Does it get delivered on time? Um, does it get returned or not? What's the customer satisfaction of the whole experience? Okay, but we're interested in delivery performance. Okay, it's a simple binary variable. The product was either delivered on time or it wasn't. It was delayed on time or delayed. So we're interested in tracking that, and obviously using our slices to see if that changes from state to state, product to product, so on and so forth. Okay, let's get on with it. As we did before, we are going to copy the previous pivot table copy and then put it there. We're going to paste it just below there. Now, let me just go in here because we can't see the pivot table field. If this happens, if you don't see the field list that you get when you create a pivot table, not a problem. Just click on pivot table, analyze, move along till you see this icon here, field list, and there it is. Okay. Okay, let's remove the old column names. We're not interested in them. We are interested in delivery performance. I'm going to click that. I'm going to drag it down to rows. So you can see there's the categories delayed and on time. Now, there are no numerical values attached to this. It's either yes or no. So all I'm going to do is I want to count. So I'm going to take delivery performance again and drag it to values. So we get a count there. Now I'm interested in showing the values as a percentage of the grand total. So this is what we want here. Yeah. And I'm just going to go in there and just change that. So we lose the decimal places. So this is what we want. If you remember from the example dashboard, we had a donut with a big percentage sign in it, which moved, and the little segment moved when you played with the slices. So this is the start of it. Just to give a heads up, there are definitely some deliberate mistakes going to happen in this particular video. All right. First thing I want to do, we're going to create our donut. So we click on it and then we go to pivot table analyze and we go to pivot chart and we get this bar chart. Again, in Windows, it gives you a choice. We have to just take an extra step with Mac, click on design and then change the chart type to a pie and a donut. Pies and donuts, I'm getting hungry. I'm just going to make it a slightly skinnier donut that we've got there. Just one thing that I think is a good idea. When you have a metric, which is the metric of interest, in our case, is on time. So that's in this case, it's the largest part of the segment, the largest segment there, the 67%. It's good practice to have that starting at sort of midday, 12 o'clock here, and then moving clockwise round. What do I mean by that? Okay, this is what I mean. I want that orange to start there and move round to the end. Now, how do we do that? I'm going to fudge it. I'm going to click on this and just change the order from ascending to descending, and then that just flips the labels round, and then we get this. Sorry, I want the blue to be there. On that note, let's click on that. And then actually just change this, maybe change that to a different color. Yeah, let's change it to let's change it to green. There we go. and we're done. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to put in a piece of text in here which has 67%, and then we could put another piece of text which has on time. Now 67 is what it is now. Obviously we want it to change with the with whatever value is in here. So how do we do that? We insert a text box inside this little area here. So I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to click on insert text box. I'm going to drag it into there. So the nice thing about text box is obviously I can just type in stuff there, type in whatever I want there. Another thing you can do is you can set the value of that text box to be any cell in your workbook. So to do that, you're just making sure that you see that cursor's flickering inside that text box. If we click on here, say equals, same in the formula bar now at the top, equals, and then I'm going to click on this value here, this on time value. And we get this rather strange and rather huge pivot table formula. Well, I'm just going to click enter. So I'm going to press enter. There we go. We have a mistake. What's happening? Oh no, oh no. Right, it doesn't like it. For whatever reason, you can't pull values from a pivot table into a text box. I know not why. It just is. That is the same for Windows as well. That's not just Mac. Anyway, click OK. And then I'm just going to actually move this along. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Escape. I'm going to press the escape key, and then we get out here. Give myself a little bit of space there. The way to get around this is simply in the cell next to the cell of interest. I'm just going to say equals that value. So not equals dump, equals, what is that? B32. And it comes up with this thing here. All right. Now we can I'm just going to change that into a percentage value. Now all we're going to do is do exactly the same thing, but we're going to focus on C32 as opposed to B32. So here we go. Insert text box, and then Scooby-Dooby-Doo equals C32. Do that again. Now don't do what I just did there. Don't do equals in the text box. That was was that a deliberate mistake or not? That's what you've got to ask yourself. You will never know. But you've learned a lesson. No, the equals should be in the formula bar up here. See, formula bar equals 67 or equals C32. And then you have the percentage value which is in there. Everything's fine. We can make that bigger. Beautiful. And obviously you can add another text box in which says on time. Not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this across. So we've actually got two different elements here. So you have to be careful. Don't just copy one. So I'm going to click on chart area, press the command key, then click on 67. So they're both selected. I'm going to then copy to the dashboard, and I'm going to place it here. And there you have it. Now, an interesting thing here is that when you do that in Windows, it doesn't work. It, for some reason, it just loses that reference. It loses that reference, and I don't know why it does, but in Mac it seems to work. So you can see here, we can have a look and see who's the best deliveries. Who's the best delivery boys? Alabama, Mississippi, very good. Tennessee, not so good. All right, so Mississippi and Tennessee, right. Mississippi, you're the best. Tennessee, you're the worst. Okay, so there you go. There's your donut, a beautiful, beautiful donut. So all these elements are coming together now. All right, now there we have it. So I think you're getting the idea here. All you're doing is adding you're adding more and more pivot tables, generating more and more charts, and you can build a dashboard with whatever different elements you want. And you'll see they're all linking together nicely and allowing us, to exactly what I did there. Look at sort of interesting different elements of the data. Okay, that's it. There's our donut. That's made me hungry. I'm off to have a donut. Okay, see you in the next video.